Hi everybody, Jake from Bored Stupid Productions here with another Real Science clip for you. This one's going to be more on how our minds work, but I said moron and then how our minds work. That's irony, I think. More about how our minds work, but we're going to be using the squirrel effect to highlight this particular Real Science clip. Now, I know most of you have seen squirrels running in and out of the road, getting hit by cars, causing all kinds of havoc. And the squirrel effect is that hesitation. Now, if you've ever really observed this, you see that squirrels have multiple levels of moments of hesitation as they dart in halfway and then dart back a quarter of the way and then dart 3/3 and it's terrifying to watch if you don't want to see a squirrel get hit or an accident happen. And that squirrel effect is something that is kind of easy to translate to human beings in the way our minds work, right? We hesitate. I'm gonna look her up and I'll give her credit at the end of this video. I cannot for the life of me remember her name because that's just me. I have a terrible memory, so I apologize to everyone and her for this, but I will give her credit for this. She does a bunch of talks and motivational videos, and her theme, her topic is the 5-second rule, where she talks about how if humans don't make a decision or do something within the first 5 seconds of its kind of conception, there's a huge likelihood that it's just never going to happen, or it's never going to be powerful enough to happen. I 100% agree with her. I think she's right. I think she's used a lot of good study and science to prove that it's valid, and it's changed people's lives, this 5-second rule. This is another tool that I like to give people in our Real Science segments about how things really work as opposed to how we tell ourselves they work or how we pretend they work. The issue with the squirrel effect is it's become so prevalent that more and more you see the people who live in the squirrel effect, the people who live in constant mid-grade fear, anxiety, indecision, questioning of everything. Those people are outnumbering the people who do make decisions and want to go get things. Not only do they outnumber them, but they've, and this is an insult to any of you who work that way. This is just the difference between a lot of people, and it's something to think about, right? So I'm not here to insult anybody who lives that way, but there is a better way to live, in my opinion, and probably anecdotally and through studies can be proven there's a better way to live than within fear. And a lot of the people who live that way don't believe that they're living that way. And that's a struggle. But the point that I was trying to get at is not only do they outnumber the people who don't hesitate, they are now finding ways and reasons and rationale to be angry at the people who don't hesitate. And to tell those people that they're not cautious enough, that they're irresponsible. Now, let's use common sense. We're not talking about people who don't hesitate when it comes to stupid things like darting across a busy street or taking something that doesn't belong to them. We're not talking about illegal, immoral, or dangerous non-hesitation. That's different. We're talking about people who have ideas and want to do something with their lives that just doesn't jive with the fearful person. Jim Carrey talks about how his father could have been an epic comedian but chose the safe route, became an accountant, and then 10 years later got laid off and put their whole family in turmoil. And he doesn't say it in a disparaging way about his father at all. He just uses it as an example of how nothing in life is given. We should just be taking chances because even the safe routes are not 100% safe. So live with passion. And then there's another person I want to talk about to highlight how we fight the squirrel effect. His name is James A. Janice, and he has a podcast and a YouTube channel. His channel is Dead Meat, and he does a particular show called The Kill Count. I love it. I watch every episode. I'll rewatch episodes. I'm not even really into horror that much. It's more this guy and his style and his kindness. You know, he'll say something about a movie. He'll be direct. He'll say, I don't like this movie. I think it was poorly shot, or this, that. But here's all the good things about the people involved and the good things about this movie, because we're all different and you may love this movie. His kindness and his passion have intersected. And now he's doing things that make a difference in my life, and it's not even a genre that I'm that into. I haven't even seen a lot of the movies he does his kill counts on because it's just not my thing. But I love him and his passion and the way he sets his show up. And this isn't a plug for him. We don't know each other. This is often I'll talk about Tom Brady when it comes to mindset, or I'll talk about Les Brown when it comes to mindset. Today, I'm talking about James A. Janice because I started watching his kill count a few years ago when he didn't have a ton of followers, when it was just his passion. And he'll talk often about how he's a nerd and he grew up a nerd and a lot of the things he did were kind of goofy and nerdy. But it's awesome because he let all of that guide him to be who he is and understood what he really loved and cared about and what he could give back to the world passionately and with kindness. And so if you chimed into him now, I just saw him after starting out like nobody knew him in the industry. He didn't have connections. He put the work in. He grinded, following his passion. If you saw him now, I just saw him in an interview with Jamie Lee Curtis, one of the best slasher icons ever from Halloween, right? And she's been in a billion other movies, and she's just wonderful. I just saw him interviewing her, and they had this awesome banter back and forth, and you could tell he was happy. He was like, I have made it. And maybe he's not thinking that, but from my perspective, that's what I was thinking. I was like, dude, you made it. You are now a part of this world that you worked so hard to get into. And if you just chimed in on him now, it's easy for people to be like, this guy's got it made, whatever. But if you had the privilege of watching him years ago as he was putting in the work, you could see how the squirrel effect didn't hamper him, how he didn't let all the hesitation and fear in the world stop him. Does that mean he didn't have fear or sorrow or get angry or have moments that were bad? No, and he'll talk about some of them sometimes in his videos. So you know he had those moments, but he persevered. He wasn't a squirrel in the road. He was a human using the most powerful tool known in the known universe, right? And that's who we are. We're humans with this mind and brain that nothing can compare to. And that's a scientific fact. But we act like squirrels. We act like squirrels who want to see other squirrels get run over, even if we don't. And it's sad. And we need to stop with the fear and the hesitation and the trying to bring each other down. And I'm not talking about split-second fear decisions. I'm talking about the feel that is on all of us. All the Trump supporters who hate anybody who doesn't like Trump, and all the Trump haters who hate anybody who likes Trump. And I'm not even getting political. That's just an easy hot topic to throw in there. There's 1,000 of them. There's 1,000,000 of them we could use. Okay, so I don't care if you like Trump, if you don't like Trump. I don't care what side you're on. It's all based on fear. If you could step back and look at things from an unbiased perspective, we are being directed through fear. And it's because we are now made up of a majority of humans who hesitate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And again, I'm going to give the woman who came up with that credit at the end because I believe in it and it's awesome. But you can find examples of this, of people who have persevered beyond their hesitation and their fear and done something great. And when you do something great and you do it with kindness and passion, it doesn't matter where it falls in the humanities chart, whether it's a social endeavor or it's a horror-themed show, it's going to give back to the world somehow. People are going to get something out of it. Case in point, I own a wilderness survival school that focuses primarily on leadership and team development, and I get something out of a horror-themed channel. And I don't even like horror, right? Because there's kindness and passion intersecting. And that is what squirrels don't have. We need to get rid of the squirrel effect in our minds. We just need to do it. And that is my real science for you today. Be a human. Be a human in all things. And humans have evolved beyond the way we are acting, right? So thank you to all the people that I used as examples. Thank you to anybody who's watching. Don't be a squirrel, folks. Real science.